because now I just can't get "Are You Ready to Rumble" out of my head. But it needs to be really high pitched if you're going to end up doing it. like prepubescent high.
You know, I don't know if my voice can. I don't know if I can do like Michael Buffer or not, but
Michael Buffer.
I just needs a good whack in the nards in order to get that high, right?
Welcome to Crashing Game Night. I cannot do Buffer. Man, it's too good. My name is Matt Tira, your host as always. Sorry, we were talking a little bit. Let's get ready to rumble Michael Buffer, and I can't do it. I'm sorry. I just can't. I'm not that good. But
I mean, do we ever expect me to
legend.
start on the rails? I'm never on the rails to start off.
No. So tonight, folks that are watching this at home, will notice we are sans the beanied one. He is lost out somewhere in the middle of the Arizona desert, coming back from Long Beach.
Yep.
He's going from one hot state to another hot state.
I told you, man. Like, why did you bring the heat over here, man? It's just.
And as we record, I want to say, first, the babyface one, Theo Wolski, is here.
What is up, everybody? Sorry I missed you guys last week.
And then the other myth, the legend, ringing in with a nice trim cough, just looking Kratos epic almost. The Lion's Mane, Jason Belidio.
How's it going, guys? How's it going tonight? Theo, I miss you, man. I missed you, bro. It's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
I hope you're feeling better. I hope all is well. But how you guys doing out there? Welcome back again to another week on the couch with us. I was hanging out with Jerry earlier today, actually, before he left.
So he's the reason. You're the reason he's late.
Oh no, me. I
mean, we are talking about Jerry here.
Maybe.
Okay,
maybe.
hold on.
It's okay. I know it is Jerry. I mean, when has we ever finished?
Where did you go for food?
Oh, we went to Nick's.
I hate you.
So unfair.
Let me get the burrito that I have that I got for my wife. Let me get that burrito real quick, and I'll eat it right in front of you guys.
Waft it into
now.
The camera.
Just have it right here. Constantly eating it, just like little nibbles.
The day will come. The day of having Nick's again will come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
but anyways, to Jerry's defense, he has gotten a lot better about being on time for things. Especially since he was very good at San Diego Comic-Con about getting up.
Yeah.
And he was only a few minutes late getting to Nick's, and I was like, "It's okay, man." Like,
okay, that's because he was driving.
Yeah.
So
he forgot.
I do want to say this while we record, Jason. I do hope your power stays on. But to all of those that are that follow us that are in the state of California right now, I hope your power outages, if they do happen tonight, are short and brief. But it was on the got tweeted out on the news and stuff that California is starting to have rolling blackouts tonight.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Because the power grid is so
overtaxed.
Yeah, it's overdone.
Here's what I don't understand is if you have a power grid that is this overtaxed that you have to tell people to set your thermostat to 78 degrees inside, how the heck by 2035 are you going to have only electric cars sold in your state?
You're not.
You're not.
You're really
sir,
not.
It's called magic. It's called magic.
Magic.
We were on unicorns and other.
I saw a great video about that.
Hold on.
Recently.
I want to respond to that really quick, and I'm going to tap 1 colorless, 2 blue. I'm going to counter to that, sir, and you can mill 3.
Because just, but I don't know how they're doing it, but apparently other states are going to try and develop the same thing, go with electric. I see what it's supposed to do, but at the same time too, man, like we've had triple digits for the last couple days, which is like, okay, it's the end of summer. I can kind of get it, but yeah, dude, it's not even like I had trouble sleeping the last 2 nights just because it's been that hot, and just I get the AC feels nice, like I've been indoors anytime I can.
Folks,
like anytime I can try to get to.
That is the weather forecast.
That's for LA,
the Los Angeles area.
And it's the problem too is that it's humid, man. Like it's the wet hot. It's not even the dry hot. Like I'm already sweating and like
51% humidity.
Yeah, I'm already wet and sticky, and please don't clip that, but it's okay.
Now we are looking for the next 3 days to be just as hot with 18% humidity.
18. I think that's like night for us. It's like maybe 18%. It's still.
But at least we're not Phoenix. Just saying, it's gonna be 100. It was 110 there today. It's gonna be 108 there tomorrow.
And while we're talking about the weather, shout outs to the people that live out in Death Valley, because I think they literally broke the temperature record for the hottest day in existence.
So that's a day?
Yeah. Well, no, like I feel like it was a few days ago or something like that. But I think they literally they got the hottest day in existence. So it was like 100 and I think it was like
127.
Yeah, 127 or 28. Yeah.
And while we're on that subject, let's shout out to the folks that are over there in Pakistan that are dealing with monsoon that is just flooding, and it's just creating massive amounts of devastation over there.
Yeah,
so thoughts go out to those people that have been impacted, because it is super, super bad out there. So
please stay cool, stay safe out there, man. Like always.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
So let's get into it. Let's talk some gaming news. Let's start this off with Nintendo.
Nintendo.
So this past weekend at PAX, they had 2 tournaments. So the first was for Mario Kart 8, which they crowned a player by the name of Strike, who won that championship. And then they did the Splatoon 3 North American Championship in kind of to hype up the launch of Splatoon. That does happen to come out this coming Friday. We are recording on Tuesday the 6th, so it comes out the 9th. Our boy Nine, who will be on in the next couple of weeks, so we can talk Splatoon actually, and everything that's gone with it. He was actually able to be on the mic calling the championship in that tournament with Jordan Kent. So first, congrats to Nine, because I know when we've had him on, we've talked about this, right? We talked about him being able to be on the big stage. So I think that is huge for him. He definitely had a great time there, because I was messaging with him just the other day asking if he's ready for it and whatnot. So but yeah, huge shout out to Nine. And the winning team was a team called Starburst, who actually beat out 3 top ranked teams to take home the Splatoon North American trophy.
Way to go, underdog.
I know.
Yeah, congrats to them. And Nintendo has been nice enough to, on their Twitch and YouTube channels, are the replays of the tournament. So if you want to go check it out and go out, I'm gonna go watch it. Just listen to Nine call Splatoon. Because I've listened to it before, like when they had, was it the Mario Maker Championship that was at E3 a couple years ago? They did a Splatoon tournament there as well. That's so right. That's where I was first introduced to him on the mic, is listening to call that with Jordan Kent. So I plan on going back and just watching it, and because I am very interested after playing Splatoon 3 to kind of see how those tournaments run and how the actual like pros do it.
The pro plays. Yeah.
I got my ass kicked.
Oh yeah, man.
And I know how it feels. So I want to see how they do it, because I haven't played Splatoon 1 or 2. So going into Splatoon 3, of course, I mean, reasonable expectation is I'm going to suck playing, paint by numbers, but I know I'll be good there. So shout out to those teams and whatnot. So Jason,
hi there.
we have some discussions to do.
I think we do.
We do.
It is.
Are you prepared for this?
I mean, like, I never go in prepared because I always want to just have the shock value, because that's where it's all good. That's where the happiness is right there, just
right. So yeah, so let's start off with games for gold. Okay. This is going to be an interesting debate tonight. I am prepared because I prepare all our show notes, but so it's going to Jason, be a debate. Let's start here for you. Oh yeah, I think it's going to be a debate a little bit.
Bro.
So okay, so one, we're always going to talk the price because Portal 2 for 20 double kick heroes. So let's look at this. So for the entire month of September, it is going to be Gods Will Fall. And we'll kind of go over some of these here, but you've got double click heroes for the 16th through October 15th. The first half of September, you see Thrillville, which is actually not a bad.
It's a good game.
It's a good game. It was honestly
an underdog.
It was a good competitor to Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Very.
And then of course you have Portal 2.
Love Portal 2.
And those are coming to those with games with Xbox Live Gold or Game Pass Ultimate. Gods Will Fall. Going up against some deities, it looks like. Grabber Mace, Sesh Spirit.
Very similar to a hack and slash.
Kind of. Travel the post-apocalyptic freeways, battling zombies and militia, and your tricked out Cadillac, the Gundalak. Wild combat that combos a shoot 'em up with rhythm game. Bang your head with your band through 30 levels of madness. Okay. Thrillville, like we said, it's like a Roller Coaster Tycoon. And I think Portal 2 goes without saying.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
However, I did not know the man himself, J.K. Simmons, was a voice in that game until reading this.
Yes.
So that's really cool.
This one, honestly, one of the best games of gold that we've seen in a while.
Exactly, and this is why I say this is going to be up for debate, and we're going to be talking. We're going to be debating this for a minute. So,
I mean, I don't. So I know we'll talk about price, but I'm just going to put it out there. Anything that has the name of Gundalak should never cost $22, even at MSRP. Just saying.
I mean, yes, I agree with you on that one, Theo. It's a little dad corny joke.
Yeah.
You're reaching for that one. You're reaching on that one. But this one, like, honestly, this is probably the best games of gold that we've seen in maybe half a year.
Yeah.
And I think, and that's honestly, that's on the strength of Thrillville and Portal 2. I'm not a fan of Portal, but Portal 2 is.
You're not a fan of Portal?
I'm not as.
It's one of the good puzzle games out there, man. Like it requires some actual.
No, don't get me wrong. I absolutely understand.
Do you have a problem with it being in like first person and kind of like being disorienting sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah, very disorienting.
Okay. I could see that because I remember you having problems with like VR stuff and things like that.
It's not necessarily. It's just kind of the way, just the mechanics and stuff. I'm just not a fan of it. But I understand its place. It does hold a great place in gaming. Both Portal and
the cake is this is the origin of the cake, man. The cake is a lie. But I mean, like, the only thing that's bad,
there is
like,
no spoon.
that I comment on this, and it makes me sad a little bit, is that the Thrillville and Portal are only 15 days long. Like they are both games that should require the full month. If they did that,
I think you swap them.
Yeah, if you
swap
and make
Gods Will Fall like half a month, like double kick heroes the other half.
Close.
Oh, is that only how long you get to keep them? I thought
no.
Just
it's how long you have to grab. It's just how long you have to grab them.
I agree that I think everything needs to be a full month, just like PlayStation. But I mean, this is how they get people to log on.
Yeah, and go through some of the old catalog. And again, like Thrillville,
I would go back and play Thrillville.
It is a solid game, and it is correctly priced at $10. So it is a correct value. All of these, maybe not double kick heroes, but indie game. I'll give you that.
Portal's not badly priced at all. So
Portal 2 has also been. It's been out in mainstream for still a while now, so I understand that $20.
So now let's flip over, okay?
But good job, by the way.
Good job, Xbox.
I'll applaud this one. This is a good month for you, Xbox.
Absolutely.
It is very, very nice. It's a good way to start Q4. Get right up in that holiday. That's perfect.
We should make note of this tremendous occasion since Microsoft finally got the stamp of approval from Jason.
All right. So here is PlayStation Plus. Okay. So the monthly games are Need for Speed Heat, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, both PS4 games, and then Toem, a photo adventure for the PS5.
Huh.
Can I just say how much of a shit month this is?
I'm actually disappointed.
Because
a little lackluster. Like I feel like you're just giving some content.
Here's why I say
to give content.
Here's why I say this is just kind of a crap month, because Need for Speed Heat at multiple times since it's come out has been priced at $10 on sale. So you're pretty much and it's not good. It's not a great game.
Need for Speed, the franchise itself is okay. It's just the last few have been literally cut and paste. That's it.
Yes.
That's the problem with the Need for Speed. Grand Blue Versus, nice.
It's a fighting game.
Yes.
You know, that's fair. Toem is, as they describe it, set off on a delightful expedition. Use your photographic guide to uncover mysteries in this hand-drawn adventure. I mean, I'll play that. It looks interesting because, as Theo and I have all said multiple times, regardless of the system, everybody needs to pick up Hue.
Yes.
Which I own on 3 different systems. But
there's that occasional diamond in the rough.
Oh, it's fantastic, and I had no problem giving.
Tone could be it.
It could. Fair enough.
Who knows?
But but still, with these 3 games, like, haven't we said on multiple occasions, like, how long can PlayStation Plus really keep up with giving really good games without?
Well, now that they have, now that they have game catalog, let's talk about that, because here's what they're giving away that's coming along with for premium and extra. So you've got Watch Dogs 2, Deathloop, Assassin's Creed Origins, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, what is it? Supercross 5 and Chicory. These are all coming to premium and extra.
Yeah, and the only honest and good ones are Origins, because it's actually not bad.
So my question,
Spiritfarer,
is how many of these were not already on Xbox Game Pass? That's my question. I have a feeling that still PlayStation is playing catch up with Game Pass, and this is their attempt, but probably not a good attempt.
Deathloop is out of his exclusivity yet to be on
I didn't
Xbox
think
Game
Deathloop. I didn't think Deathloop was ever.
It wasn't exclusive. It was a timed console exclusive to PlayStation. And that was the big thing when they when Xbox acquired Bethesda. This was one of the big questions that came up: was Deathloop going to ever show up on Xbox? And that's where we all found out it was an exclusivity deal with PlayStation that was timed and whatnot. Origins is another one that, you know what, it was on sale for like $10 at one point. Watch Dogs 2.
Once you get, again, it's just like Need for Speed. Once you get Assassin's Creed after the originals, you start getting the same ones. You're just like, it's cut and paste, just in different eras.
Alex Kidd, Rabid Invasions, Rayman Legends, and Scott Pilgrim are all coming to the game catalog. And then the classics are getting Siphon Filter 2, the Sly Collection, and Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, which I have those already on my Vita. And since I still have the premium subscription for a little while, I think I might maybe try and see how they play on PS3. But you got Bentley's Hack Pack, Toy Story 3, and Kingdom of Paradise.
You know, I feel like they're setting up to bring out some classic IPs back from the grave. Like part of me is feeling that with PlayStation, just the way they have this whole setup with the old games, the old collections. I
hate that I'm gonna have to say this. I don't think so.
No, I think there's going to be a
small
revival.
Jim Ryan hates classics. He absolutely hates it. He has come out and flat out said he doesn't see why people go back and play old games.
I think they're reaching because studios are running out of content, or at least original content.
That could be it too. I mean,
because what do you think? Like, most of the games that have been coming out within the past 5 years are pretty repetitive. Wouldn't you agree? Like, probably at least 50% of them are sequels or repeats.
Yeah, and that's why they're reviving
and they're
some of the classics. Where it's like
outside of Horizon, which borrowed some things from different games and stuff, but ultimately was an original IP. Days Gone was a take on the zombie, a Last of Us, Resident Evil type,
and they're done that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, and I think here's the problem I see with PlayStation is that Xbox has been there to say, and kudos to Phil Spencer and his team, right? Is that they've from minute one committed to backwards compatibility throughout the generations because they see the value in the back catalogs. PlayStation hasn't had a backwards compatibility since the initial launch of the PS3.
Yep.
And that was only if you got a hold of one with the emotion chip in it that could play PS2 and PS1. Otherwise, you were stuck with playing select PS1 titles on a PS3. PS4 wasn't backwards compatible to the 3. And a lot of it has to do with the cell architecture that was in the 3. It's a completely different architecture, which is why I understand why they're doing the PS3 games as streaming and not running, off of a download because they're different architectures. They really are. But then even, 5 and 4, I mean, come on. I mean, PS5 games are really PS4 games with better graphics. That's it. Honestly. So it's not really anything quote unquote backwards compatible about it. And then you've got Nintendo, right? Who's brought out their classics not only for Nintendo, the big ones. Now they've been a little suspect on the newer games they're adding to the collection, but they've added on that.
At least they're like giving indies a shot. Like, I feel like PlayStation and Xbox has kind of drifted away from indies, even though that they like really tried to highlight it a few years ago.
John Venagi, I mean, with Johnny V, with everything he's doing with third party at Nintendo is great because you are seeing a lot of indies, a lot of third party games starting to show up on the Switch. But what I'm saying is, like, when you look at the old titles, right? You've got the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, and Genesis virtual consoles, which all have something in them to play. For Jason and I, it's Shining Force, which we have 1 and 2 on there now. For the N64, you've got Ocarina of Time, Mario 64, Super Nintendo, you've got Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Mario World. You've got these classics that you can go back and play, and they still hold up. And if the rumors of a September Direct are true, the rumors around a Nintendo Direct would be, one, it's Zelda themed, so potentially hearing more about Breath of the Wild 2. There are stronger rumors than usual that we're getting, and I'm not going to expect this because then I will be vastly disappointed if they don't do it, but there are rumors that we're getting Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
Oof, I've been wanting to play Wind Waker for a long time.
Wind Waker is my second favorite Zelda, and I can go back and play that game over and over and over again.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just coming. It's going back to
and
everyone's like, oh, like, why are people into the classics, or why are people going back systems to play these games again, or why is there such popularity? It's because we are the people that literally played them. Like,
or some people got to miss them, like I did. I never got a chance
or
to play
you
Wind
missed
Waker
them, or you knew,
only
but
on
you,
Wii U.
you knew one of your friends played it. You know,
yeah,
like the big hype when, like in middle school, you know, like playing Final Fantasy VII, asking, hey, where are you at right now? Oh my god, like you remember that fight? Oh my god, it was so crazy. Or like we literally grew up in that era. And you know, like I always have that one shirt that I picked up at Old Navy, you know, the original Antisocial Club with the controller. It's so true though, because now we're in our 30s, we can afford these
40s, you know,
30s.
Don't forget,
40s.
Hey, don't forget gray hair over here.
One of us is in our 40s
for years.
One of us.
I blame part of it on you, Theo, and Scott.
Oh, you're welcome.
I mean, just saying though, like all of us are in our like mid late 30s, early 40s, and this is why we want these.
A lot of us have kids
back.
now.
Yeah,
a lot of us have kids, and we want them to experience what we grew up with.
Yeah, exactly. Not just the graphics wise, but I mean, this is like how you play the game. Remember when you had Crash Bandicoot 1 on in Uncharted, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, you get to play literally Crash Bandicoot."
DOG.
And you remember, like, oh my god, I remember dying to this multiple times because there's no like there's hardly checkpoints, there's hardly any like,
and the view was horrible.
Yeah, you're stuck with this terrible view. You're just, and this is what we had to deal with. This is why some of the old games are so hard. I mean, Nintendo, classic Nintendo, there was 0 save states. There are 0 ways to save the game. You either beat Mario when you're sitting down and playing it, or you finish it. There's no like, oh, let me pause the game, save it.
I mean,
speed, a week later.
And that's the thing, is speed runs are so popular now.
Oh yeah.
I hate to rain on your parade, boys, but we originated speed runs because we didn't have saves.
Yeah, you don't have saves. You can't. You're like, just reset.
So is it Mario's bad? Is it bad to hear both of you talk the way that you are about the good old days? Nothing that is wrong with it, but the entire time I'm just picturing the scene from Back to the Future 2 in the diner with the arcade game with the little kids. Is like, oh, you gotta use your hands? That's a baby's toy.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, or even going to the arcade, and you know how, and I know Matt will attest for this one too, but you know, there's only one person playing Dragon's Lair, and it's on a big screen, and it's literally one button and the joystick, and you're just like, what do you do? And like everyone's watching it, and everyone's just like, oh dude, you have to go right.
See, for me it was Turtles. You know, 4-player, all of Turtles, us lining up our quarters, right?
The 8-player X-Men. The
8-player, and everyone kind of like doing the guy. It's like those games
or LAN parties.
Dude,
OG Halo.
I just had a LAN party actually a few nights ago.
Did you really?
Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
Theo missed out on game night.
We were playing the hell out of Pokemon Unite.
Nice.
And we had 3 switches. I was on my cell phone, and we had 2 chargers available, so people would just rotate charging their switches or charging my cell phone, and we're just
that's how you do it.
That's it, man. Like that's the new school LAN.
But does that? I was gonna say, does that still count as a LAN party? Because it's still wireless.
We're all there. I mean, like, we're all there. We're all linked up in the same game. You know, like it's the new school.
It's
the new school
LAN party.
Yeah, the new age LAN party. You know, like.
No
Discord. There was no Discord. All of us can see each other. You know, like it was fun, man. It was crazy.
Oh, and we just got a new title for our episode with that talk.
Jeez.
But no, so like when we look at it though, right, is Wind Waker is a game that has been absolutely asked for. Twilight Princess, another absolutely asked for game.
And I think PlayStation. That's why I say PlayStation might be turning that corner. Not like right away. I don't expect it to be next month. Hey, boom, drop. But I think they're gonna start seeing, because like you're gonna have a huge uprising of the people that played the Sly Cooper games, and you're going to be like, hey.
So here's my thought with this is that one is also there is rumor coming with this direct is the possibility that the Game Boy, or sorry, not the Game Boy, but the GameCube Virtual Console may be dropping.
That'll be interesting. That'll be
interesting.
Yeah, that'll be a lot. That'll be a lot. There's a lot.
Give it to me. I will absolutely give it to me. Give me original OG Luigi's Mansion. I'll go back and play that thing for hours. Love that game. But here's
that sounded very sensual, by the way. Just saying.
Hey, just the poltergeist. Just I
just can't get that tone out of my head now.
To quote the ladies' man, we're gonna get a bottle of Cavaquier and just but anyways, but no, when you look at the grander scheme of things, right, is we're going to talk part of this bad press that PlayStation's seeing. But if it is true, it was preface it with everything that is still a grain of salt, even though Jeff Grubb is the one who started talking about a September Zelda Direct, but let's take it with a grain of salt. If it is all true, okay, that we get Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, and a GameCube Virtual Console, Nintendo is the place for the OG classics. It is. And I think when you look at PlayStation with the pricing structure, promising all these classics from the beginning, right? And we're not getting any. It's not that hard to convert PS1 games to make them run on the PS5. It's really not.
I mean, that's a little unfair though, still. Like,
if you're trying to get people to one, stay with your console, two, you have to think about what we talked about a week or two ago, is that they're raising their prices on the PS5s worldwide, with the exception of the US, on a console you can't even find. And yes, my wife wants Dark Legacy, which honestly, whoever holds the Gauntlet IP is being dumb and not releasing that, because that is something that as a game has been widely requested. But PlayStation's kind of going backwards right now.
No, but I mean, I just find it unfair because like we always compare it with Nintendo, with Xbox and stuff like that. And I get that, I understand exactly where people are coming from on that. But I mean, like Nintendo, you had Super Nintendo, you had Nintendo 64, you had GameCube, you had the Wii, you had the Wii U. You have the Wii Game Plus. Boy. I mean, you have Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, like okay. You have so many consoles that produce so many insanely good games. Both they've been on Nintendo, they've been on multiple consoles. This and that. You have Xbox original,
OG.
Yeah, you have Xbox original. You have 360. You have
Xbox One, and then Xbox Series.
So you have like 4, which like you can get that. Like,
and Xbox had some bangers.
They had some bangers, they had some good ones, but again, I still stick with my mantra of, if you're not a shooter, you're just like, why not? Okay.
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing with you, but then you got PlayStation, right? PS1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you, by the way, PlayStation, for keeping it simple like that. Jesus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then you've got the PSP. You've got the Vita. And even there, you had some great games. Now, a lot of the great games didn't come until PS3, but you saw some fantastic games on 1 and 2.
Yeah, on which I feel that, again, they are slowly bringing it out with the
but
new
here's my problem, though, is that when it was Sean Layden, okay, which we did get to see at E3, a great guy. When he was in charge, and even if you go back to House and Jack before him, before them, Andrew House and Jack, right? Is that they really did understand wanting to play the classics. They really understood it, and they were trying to bring them to the consoles, right? And then you have Jim Ryan now in charge, who's flat out said he doesn't understand why people play classics. He's all for moving the generations along, and that's it. If you look at it, being Sean Layden was about the games that tell us stories. And I think this goes to Theo's comment about innovation and story, right? And it's like everything's being recycled, right? Is that when Sean was in charge, he was more about let's give these companies a chance to give us something new, something original. Jim Ryan takes over the reins, and now it's service, service. And we want to move things forward. Okay. Well,
to his point about moving forward, what's that saying? It's like you don't know where you're going unless you know where you've been.
Yep.
So, and it's still going to go true to the innovation too. It's like, well, if you don't know what's already been done, you're just going to repeat what's been done before then.
And what, Theo was saying,
yep,
it's the same. It's a lot of stuff that's been losing out. But if you do these, I mean, I don't want everything to be a remake. I don't want like 50 different like remakes, but I do want things to be like, you know what? This is what happens. 20.
We can use that as a segue.
Yeah, but I mean, let me finish this comment real quick.
It doesn't work as well when you call it out.
But it's one of those things where it's like, hey, like, what are these IPs doing 20 years later? Like Crash Bandicoot came out with the game recently. I personally never played Sly, but I feel like Sly could do with another expansion. Ratchet and Clank, another game that everyone was enjoying.
Yep.
Came out how many years later after the last one, or it started in PS2 and just like boom,
So let's talk about remakes. Okay. Let's talk about the game that's gotten not one but two different editions with The Last of Us, now called Last of Us Part 1. Okay. Came out on PS3, got a remaster on PS4, which still looks really good, by the way. It looks kind of like the Nathan Drake collection when Blue Point went back and redid those earlier PS3 games. And now it's gotten a remake, which just came out. So one is it's had a re-release on 3 generations. This is now Skyrim for PlayStation. It pretty much is. Or
maybe one day it'll become GTA 5. Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say it's a GTA.
It is a GTA, right? First and foremost, when we talk bad PR, right? There was a Firefly edition you could only get through PlayStation Direct. It was $100. You got a bunch of extra stuff with it. Cool little a slip cover. Let me pull it up here. Anyways, but it's arriving damaged because from what I've been reading is that they put them in unpadded manila envelopes to mail them out. Yes. But is that they weren't shipped in boxes or anything? It was straight up.
They do the direct shipping, or did they like outsource it to a third-party vendor?
I don't know.
I feel like it might be a third-party vendor.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But either way, it was shipped out.
Case. It had issues 1 through 4.
Yep, I'm pulling up right now so we can share with the class. Anyway, so you've got. Here you go. So as Theo was pointing out, is you got a steel book which looks really pretty. You had the American Dreams comics 1 through 4, a bunch of early unlocks, which a lot of those came with the digital deluxe editions or the digital editions and everything. But the thing is that this slipcover is coming damaged. Some of the stuff inside the slipcover was damaged because they didn't pack it correctly. Sony, as of the last reports I've seen, is refusing to replace or exchange them.
That seems very strange.
That means it for sure was third party Theo.
I mean,
you have to, because it's like, we gave it to them perfectly, and then what they did to send it out.
I mean, this is no justification, but to the actions or anything. I could see it being a production issue with the times that we're in, but if you're willing to replace it, I'm sure those people are willing to wait for the replacement and not necessarily be demanding for it to be within 5 business days or whatnot. Like if it's fully explained as like, okay, we own this. We just have some production problems, just like we've had for the past 3 years now or whatnot. And just give us some time.
But I'm not gonna lie, just stop with The Last of Us 2. By the way, just stop with The Last of Us. You know, like it has its moment. You know, it was great. Don't turn it into Star Wars, please.
I want to piggyback on that, Jason, because I am.
Please don't Marvel this.
Well, it's kind of getting the Marvel.
I mean,
but anyway,
I mean, like
Netflix show.
I mean, then stop. We don't need a movie. We don't need like 17 shows to like what everyone did beforehand, what everyone did after. Just like just stop. Like people jump on this train so hard that they just don't know when to stop, and just give it. So Jason,
I do want to
beautiful.
I do want to piggyback on that because I do I'm going to set it out there. Is the game is absolutely stunning. With the picture visual upgrade, it is really absolutely good. Incredible to play it and watch it and just experience it, right? But that said, they did literally just take everything that was from Last of Us and just take the new visuals and put it on top. It is all the same lines. Yep. It is the same exact everything minus the visuals being changed.
And the Firefly edition included in a prequel chapter in the game.
Well, that comes with the edition that I have. The digital edition comes with Left Behind
little thing.
That was included with, but you could get that through the PlayStation store for like $10. You know, when 4 and stuff came. But here's my thing: is it's not $70. The only way I could say that this is a $70 game is if you've never played Last of Us. That is the only way this is worth $70. But overall, I think that if you originally owned The Last of Us through the store, whatever, through PlayStation Store, whatever it is, it should have been a $40 upgrade. Kind of like,
I think even 40 is a bit much.
Okay, we could go with that. I'm just saying it shouldn't even have been 70, right?
It's too much to be 70. It's just,
and I'm having a problem going back through the story.
Really? Then more than likely they're going to remake, remaster, redo
part 2. Yeah, probably
part 2 again.
Because I mean, the visuals look better than part 2 as it is now.
That beginning of The Last of Us is a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
It is an absolute heavy hitter. And going back through it again, it makes it it hits just as hard. But here's the thing is the story is great for a play. And I think maybe this is why I've never gone back through and done a second run all the way through, is because the story's bleak. And it is predicated, on despair and all of that. And it just, especially after the last 2.5 years that we've gone through with COVID and being locked down and away from everybody, it kind of is depressing. It is purely depressing. It's a phenomenal game. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I just think, to Jason's point, I think
it's getting Star Wars, man. And
Last of Us Part 2 needs to be it. It needs to be it.
I'm really kind of sad it might get Star Wars like pretty hard. Like I'll deal with the Netflix show. I'll deal with like the comics. Okay, those are fine. But if we make a Last of Us Part 3, if we go Last of Us Part 0, I'm gonna be like, yo, like.
And here's my thing.
Like we had DLCs already. We've had like literally the whole life of pretty much Ellie, unless we're gonna go before the whole thing.
What that's Left Behind. That is the DLC.
Yeah, exactly.
Piece.
We've had it. Oh no, I'm talking about if we're gonna go before that. Like, it's like, oh, you know what? Like, I was just a little girl going here.
I don't think you can go before that.
No, you can't. But, and if you do, that's it. I'm going to be like, you know what, Naughty Dog, you had me, and now.
But here's what I don't understand is we all know it's a great game. We all know Last of Us is a great game. Last of Us 2 is a great game as well. It had its flaws, Last of Us Part 2.
Of course.
But what is it about Last of Us that is deserving this type of a treatment? Because frankly, I will go back and play Uncharted over and over and over again, and it never gets tiresome. But all it got was the Nathan Drake collection, which was Blue Point going back and remastering 1 through 3 for the PS4. Yeah. And yes, you got a PS5 upgrade for Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy. But what is it that about Last of Us that has them going back and doing a remaster and then a remake? And it's just like, I get it. You want to tie this in and get, I think this is more of a tie-in for the show to get like people, like, I think it's more of a, hey, people are going to watch the show. Let's go play the game now. Let's go see what it's all about. And I think
that means that we're going to have a Witcher 1, Witcher 2, Witcher 3 remake, remaster, remodel, redo, redone, redecorate, whatever I can use as well. But there are times when you just have to accept, like, hey, this is what's going to be. This is why they're going to bring out these classics. Oh, you like that? But it's just stop. Like, people, it's me. Sony is doing what me and Marvel are doing now, and this is what's going to turn me off. And it's going to be like, I can't deal with this anymore.
Can I say that's why some of that is why I've been playing my Switch a lot more than my PlayStation.
I'm just trying to finish up backlog games. That's all I'm trying to do. But I'm just saying.
I'm restarting games I finished back when I was in middle school, dude.
If Sony literally pulls this off and just like, then dude, sign on indies. Sign on some people that you might have some flaws. You might have some hits and misses. It's going to happen. But you can't have this like, all right, let's see what's we're gonna have a Red Dead 2 redemption. Like, get out. So, like, stop. Like,
ultimately, I would love to hear what people think in the comments when we post this to YouTube and whatnot, because I think honestly, we need to. In some ways, we need to stop with the constant let's remaster, remake all these games cycle type of a thing.
I mean, don't.
I'm okay with it
like
once. I'm okay with one upgrade. So
no, I enjoy it. I'll like it if it's done correctly, and at the same time, if it's loved by all. Like I said earlier, if Sly, I personally never played it, but if Sly gets a remake, it can be good. We do have that technology. We do have that ability now to make like stealth games or to make games that were very corny, very cheesy.
But to your point earlier, it doesn't need to be a remake, because we had Ratchet and Clank. That was not a remake.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be a remake.
A whole new game.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, you have to be like a little like 50-50 with how you want to proceed, but I do want some of the classics to come back.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with PlayStation here on out the rest of the year. We know the next big title up is Ragnarok.
Yeah. Which Jerry was like excited because he's like, yo man, I'm 3 Valkyries down now. And I'm like, Jerry, just
So we have some additions to Collector's Corner.
Oh my God, get out of here.
You, sir.
Get out. Like,
I didn't come prepared for this.
I know, like, I can't. What do I buy now? I can't buy anything anymore, man. Like,
so I added a new plane to my collection. I ended up getting this is the F-18 for the Fist of the Fleet Squadron, which is actually this in Top Gun. It is Iceman Squadron that he flies under their banner, even though it's not the correct squadron number in Top Gun. So this is the F-18 for the actual real Fist of the Fleet Squadron. And I have it sitting underneath Ice's F-14, but then this bad boy.
That's the interesting one. I actually
That
want
looks
to
nice.
see that. Like,
is the Ghost of Tsushima art book, and it is absolutely
beautiful,
gorgeous.
Yeah,
it is.
I don't doubt it.
This is, I mean, it even has Ghost of Tsushima and the spining and whatnot. This is fantastic, and I'm getting more into art books than the gaming statues now. Because I'm appreciating as I get older the work that goes in to the art and the art direction for these games.
Yeah, and also sometimes, like a lot of times, they have the base model, what they
what they originally were going to look like,
thought about, you know, and you're like, wait, how did they get from here to here?
Here to there? Yeah, it's cool. So that was actually picked that up for $25 off of Amazon.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it was on sale, and Barnes and Noble sells it for like 50. So, but yeah,
Amazon overlords.
Hey, right. But yeah, like, so I now have the art books for Uncharted or Uncharted 4, Horizon, Metroid Dread, and the Zeldas.
Nice.
So I actually went out and got a bookshelf so
Physical.
I can actually have an actual.
The physical ones, right, Matt?
Yeah, physical.
Yeah, because I know like a lot of games now they're starting to do digital art books.
You know what? As much as I love my iPad and I do have books on there that I read, there's something about just holding that book.
Helps with the lighting
and
it's that shine. Because
but it's like
shimmer.
But it's also the smell of the paper. It's the smell of that paper that's been printed on and it's been there for years.
Man.
So yeah, so that is some additions. I do think I am gonna try and get the Mifa statue though, to go with the rest of my Zeldas.
Nice.
Because she's a badass. So
one day I'll have something to be like.
I do have something to contribute to Collector's Corner.
What do you got?
This came in today.
Dang it.
Which Stitch is that?
Stitch with why can't I forgot that this doesn't auto focus, but it's Stitch with Boba Tea.
Oh God.
Where'd you get that, and how much was that? Because like I think I might want to get that for like
Hot Topic exclusive. It was $15.
Oh wow.
You should still be available.
I'll check it out.
Did Gamer Stitch show up yet?
Not yet. You're supposed to ship out last Friday.
And that is that in store or is that online only?
It should be in store.
Okay.
Yep. I did online since I'm the lazy one.
All right. So Jason.
Yeah, I got a bag of chips. I've been eating throughout the podcast today, you know, just
it's quite the vintage there.
Yeah.
It's circa 2022, right?
It's classic, bro.
Oh, so Jason, what you been playing?
Happy to announce that I have gotten the second ending, the average ending at Sekiro. So I have fully beaten the game once at least. Going through it round 3 to try and get a different ending. And I was talking to my wife and I was like, I might try to platinum this game. Oh
shit.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those games where it's going to take a little bit of time, but she's been really cool watching me play, because I was like, I'm like, oh babe, like I feel bad because like I'll do the same boss fight for like 2 hours. I'm like, oh, I feel bad. And she's like, no, it's interesting to watch because like she wouldn't have that like that perseverance, I guess. You know, because it's a Dark Soul game. It's from Software, and you have to know how to play it, otherwise you're just going to get bombarded with death after death after death. So you know, I told her, I was like, yeah, I might try to platinum it, so I might like be doing it like on Tuesdays when she goes to work and I'm like, okay, got some free time, and just barrel through again. And then every time I get to a new cutscene or a different boss, she's like, oh, just wait for me so I can see the cutscene. And it's like, yeah, no problem. But this time I'm going to try and kill the giant carp or the giant snake. So we'll see.
Like, were you really going to say giant carp? There's a fish.
Is there a giant
fish?
There is a giant koi fish that you have to fight.
Now I just picture you fighting Magikarp.
Bro, let me try and find this for you. I can just be like, I'll send you a picture.
My God. But still, I just picture the game and you're fighting a giant Magikarp just flopping around.
Oh, dude, it is. It's literally a koi fish, a giant koi fish.
Yeah.
And
How about you, Matt? What you been playing?
But yeah, that's it. That just Sekiro. I'm actually gonna try and go through backlog though. Like it is time to actually go through.
I'm trying to clear up some of mine too and finish them. So
it's the next one. Obviously, I'm gonna pick up is God of War, but and Final Fantasy. Those are the only two I have in the horizon. That's gonna be like, oh, I need to play these.
I thought you platinumed God of War.
No.
Or you mean
I'm
the
talking
new
about
one?
Ragnarok. I'm talking about Ragnarok.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, like those are the only two that I have. Like I want to get for sure. Here and there, if another game comes out, cool beans.
Yeah. Well, I do have Ragnarok pre-order too, so that's one that's on the horizon. I think I'm gonna get Pokemon.
Oh,
let me know if you get Violet or Scarlet.
We will probably, as long as my wife wants to get it, we'll probably get one of each. So we'll have one Scarlet, one Violet in the house. I may get Splatoon. We'll see. I'm kind of on the fence with that one. We'll definitely take a look at that one. I may pick that up. I need to get the Cowabunga collection because I want some turtles in time. But what have I been playing? So I played a little bit more Animal Crossing. I'm honestly now at that point where I'm trying to finish off all of the stamps that you can get in the game for the little in-game achievements for things. So I'm starting to work on that. We started playing Bowser's Fury. We have 3 lighthouses 100%, so we're moving on to the 4th lighthouse. There is Last of Us Part 1. So I'm not terribly far in it. I just picked up Ellie and we're heading for the Capitol building. So I'm still early in that.
Yeah, so it literally is 1 for 1 then, huh?
It literally is.
That's
like it's all it is Last of Us Part 1 with a new coat of paint. That's it. It is basically Last of Us Part 1 with the Part 2 engine, essentially. Just for 5. So that's what I'm saying is I don't think it was a $70 game, personally.
Can they really call that a remake then? That's just a remaster.
Well, I mean,
unless there's something different happens later.
Haptics.
There has to be.
That's it. I mean,
it's
1 for 1.
FF7 was a true remake.
Still make it. Yeah,
FF7
there
was
has
a
to be
remake.
something different.
Yeah.
But it's not. But yeah, so there's that. I have actually officially started A Link to the Past run.
Nice.
So I'm getting ready to head for the first full dungeon on that one. Introduced Cody to that the other night. Started a new Pikmin 3 run.
Oh, nice.
I didn't even know you got into Pikmin.
You know what? I had it on the Wii U, never finished it. I got it when it came out originally, when the deluxe Pikmin 3 Deluxe came out originally. And I was playing it quite a bit, and then something else it was like, ooh, here's a shiny new game. I'm gonna go play that. Yeah. And I haven't finished it since, and I'm so lost that I on the mechanics that I literally had to restart the game. So
what is the appeal of Pikmin? I don't really understand Pikmin very much.
Basically, you just go you find these little Pikmin and you kind of throw them at objects to get them to go get a fruit to take back to your ship. I mean, it's just
I'm trying to associate it with the game that you might have played.
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, I don't think there will be.
It.
So
you know what? Lemmings.
Kind of.
But
it's
pretty
much. It's like a grindy.
Yeah.
It's a grindy Super Mario World RPG.
Kind of. I mean, it's fun. It's cute. I mean, it's for kids.
It's a very good big kids game. I only say the RPG aspect because the story is based around Olimar, and you need the Pikmin to get.
And this one doesn't have Olimar in it. This is a whole different group, but so yeah, that's been kind of what I've been playing. Honestly, like I said, my Switch is getting way more use right now than my PS5 is. And I think a lot of it is just because Cody's playing it a lot more. We're playing together, and we just basically we have a dock out on the TV in the playroom, so we're just
and as always, just like I said, we said plenty of times, you know, you can play 2 players instantly without having to get into the controller. You just have to switch.
Yep. Oh, and done. At game night on Sunday, we threw down on some Mario Kart with the new forces.
Okay.
So,
of course.
Yeah.
Theo, you played anything?
Some Destiny 2. Getting back to that. New season started and new raid. Actually been able. Well, they re-released King's Fall raid from Destiny 1. But actually getting to raid again. So
nice.
Which is, and I have to give a shout out to Sherpas out there that are nice enough to teach people how to do things and the patience that they have, because I certainly don't have the patience.
I'm
definitely one of those people. You just got to tell me twice and I've got it. But like I had a raid the other day. It took 5 hours to get it done for the Sherpa, but it should only take like 2 hours max with a Sherpa.
I'd have to say if I were to go back to Destiny right now, I would have to start over from scratch because the mechanics have changed so much.
Mechanics, not really.
Mechanics, not really. Probably the
armor system has
armor system and weapon system and like the meta and everything has changed so much that
definitely
like the way light works now compared to what it used to.
I mean, it's a lot more fun with the armor sets and mods and everything because you can really make creative builds out of it, and it makes it pretty fun.
Yeah. It's like Division 2, Matt. Like Division 2 got a huge like update, which is odd and crazy.
And I hate to say it, like it was weird even going back to that one, trying to figure out the new system.
Yeah, because I mean, like now there's the
there is no learning curve.
It's like the experience system where like your armor levels up, your weapons level up, expertise.
Expertise, and
so it's even
and that makes it hard because if I find some slightly better gear, like you're used to just swapping gear out because it's just got better stats and everything. Now it's like
better stats, or you just
keep it because you level it up, it's going to have all these other perks. And
I mean, it's not like a lot of craziness, but I mean, it's something different now. And like I jumped back in a few days ago because I had some time and I saw all my old raid buddies and I was like, let's just go. And they're like, oh my god, you're back on. And I was like, dude, I work nights now. I can't jump in at nights when everybody else is playing. And they're like, oh yeah, but it's a lot of difference.
You could, but you might just lose your job out of it.
Yeah.
So with that, I want to thank everybody for crashing game night with us tonight. For those that joined us live in the chat, thank you as always. It's very much appreciated. And for those that are catching us this weekend when the YouTube video and the audio goes live, thank you. It's very much appreciated. If this is the first time you tuned into us and you liked what you heard, what you saw, hey, head on over to crashinggamenight.com, find the platform you want to follow us on, and just click that subscribe button. And catch some back videos and some back episodes. Like I mentioned, 9, click on his profile, head on over to see those episodes he's been on. We're going to have him on here in the next couple of weeks, talk some Splatoon. But guys, with everything going on right now, it is a very, very stressful time right now for a lot of places in the world. So please just be excellent to each other. Stay frosty.
That's right, my fellow nerds. Definitely, guys.
I'm just trying to drink here, Jet. Come on.
Perfect timing. Shout outs to everybody out there again. Still, it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. I'm starting to sweat like no tomorrow. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm like shining.
This is where Nelly starts playing. It's getting hot in here.
I know, right?
Jason, keep your clothes on, please.
Yes, please.
I will.
Please.
I'm just saying though, like it's hot out there. Please, like, take care of your animals. Like I almost saw one today, in a car, and I was like, luckily the person was in there too. And I was like, okay, but it's starting to get hot. We're getting power outages in California, at least. I know it's hot. Bear with it for a little bit. just turn the fan on, open windows, go outside. You know, it's perfect beach weather. It's perfect just to go for a walk. Other than that, special shout outs always to frontline workers, to retail, to teachers. You're back in school again. You know, all the kids, I'm sorry you guys are back in school again, but you know, be glad that you're able to get to school. You know, it's a lot. Anyways, I know we're switching up our stuff all the time now. I gotta find a new outro, but I think this outro will never leave my man Theo. I miss saying that. I had to say my man myself one time, or it was weird, but
I appreciate you doing it.
Theo, send us out like you always do, my man.
Thank you all for watching. Thanks for listening. Till next time, TTFN. Ta for now.
Good night, everybody.
Beat that girl, man. Beat it.